I guess to get started, if you could just introduce yourself and give a little background of who you are and the case.
I am Sol Weiss, obviously. I went to this law school. I graduated in 1972. I've done class actions and mass tort work for many, many years. This is a very unique and interesting case because it involves cutting-edge science. It involves activities that have broad application to kids, teenagers, college players, professional players, and even recreational players. Concussions are a serious problem, and brain injuries are not really well known.
Don't glance over at him so much. Keep it more focused.
I got you.
Please, thank you.
Okay. Next question, pretty broad general question. When you came and agreed to be on the panel, what was the most important thing for you to express today?
Well, two things, not one. My gratitude for the training I received at Villanova University Law School, and secondly, an opportunity to hear some of the players and what they had to say about how their lives have been affected. That really got to me.
During the panel, you talked a little bit about the class action, and you talked about the efficiency as opposed to if each one of them went to go to arbitration. If you just talk a little bit about that.
Well, you've got 4,300 players who have filed individual lawsuits. There are maybe 16,000 or so retired players. If each one has to bring his own case in an arbitration proceeding, it would take a long time to get it done. And so that's one of the efficiencies of a class action.
You also talked a little bit about how over the past decade or so or more that the NFL CBA has shown signs of improving compensation for muscular and skeletal injuries.
Correct.
However, they've almost clearly neglected brain injuries. If you talk a little bit about that.
Well, they started to increase benefits for players for physical injuries. There was some discussion in 2005 or 2006 with the 88 plan, the John Mackey plan, that for the first time was offering a disability payment for someone who has a severe problem. And they put the neurocognitive plan benefit in the 2011 CBA, but it only provides a little bit of protection to players and it ends at age 55. Well, if we're talking about early onset dementia and memory loss, the guys need the money and the families need the money when they're past 55. And so it's inadequate. I don't believe it covers retired players. The contrary is it might. That's something for interpretation, but it doesn't deal with the problems these guys have.
Can you talk a little bit about how you think that this litigation can not only affect the NFL as a league going forward, but the NFL in particular, their awareness and their prevention and their methods to prevent concussions?
The best way I can tell you is I have a personal trainer who comes to my house 2 days a week. He is the trainer for the Haverford School, which is a private school for boys in the area. And his school does baseline training. Gordon Cooney, who's on the panel, his kid, the school he goes to, gets baseline evaluation, I think in the 4th grade. So the fact that this has come to the forefront is great. It's great for girls who play soccer and kids who play soccer who have not yet developed enough muscular strength to head a ball. Goalies in lacrosse, when they get with a 100 mile-an-hour hit with a lacrosse ball in their head, they have problems. And it's time to address those problems and make sure these kids go back to baseline.
just conclude with one more question. I know you touched upon it in the panel a little bit, but just a little bit of a prediction, maybe not necessarily the outcome of the case, but how the case is going to unfold and unravel as time goes on.
It's hard to say. Right now, the court's going to deal with a very tough issue, preemption. And I'm sure if the players prevail, and I think we will prevail on that issue, there will be other issues coming up. The NFL has got unlimited resources, but I'll say this. Our clients, former retired football players, have the will and determination to see this case through. So whenever it takes it, we'll do it.